guys, my name is Savannah, and today we're talking all about the Atrociraptor, which is one of 4 new species coming to Jurassic World Evolution 2 with tomorrow's Dominion Malta expansion DLC. So in this video, we'll take a look at the Atrociraptor, we'll take a look at the model, the animations, its interaction with other dinosaurs, its stats in the hatchery, anything and everything about the Atrociraptor. As you can see here, we're in one of the gorgeous new maps that comes with the DLC, and I love the aesthetic. But let's go ahead and jump into, I've got some Atrociraptors here to let free. So first thing we'll take a look at is the exit animation. We got my favorite exit animation first try. I'll go ahead and play the second one for you now, the alternative, so we'll take a look at that. Such a cool animation. I love that some of them come running out while others come out pretty slowly. The two in the middle kind of interact with each other and call to each other just a little bit. Really like it. And we got a really cool pattern too right off the bat. So this guy, of course, the Atrociraptor, let me go ahead and show you what color this one is. Sonoran Desert and Chalcorana. I try my best, I'm sorry, but that is the coloration for this guy. I actually really like these guys. They have a much more boxy snout than the Velociraptor, and I really like the patterning that Frontier has done. This one, of course, being a Frontier coloration. I wonder if we got any of the... Oh, that one's a pretty wild. That one's pretty tame. It's pretty cool looking. I wonder if we got any of the movie ones. Is that one blank, or is this one got a pattern to it? This one is a blank pattern. So even though it's blank, it actually has a little bit of pattern on it still. So it's actually not quite as boring as some of the plain colorations, although it's still not my favorite. Let's see, did we get... We didn't. So let me go ahead. I will release some of the movie patterns and we can go ahead and take a look at those. So starting off, this is the tiger animation, who is drinking water from very far away. That's a little off, but there you go. There's the drinking animation. This is the tiger patterning. So obviously for good reason, tiger stripes down the back. There we go. We're going to drink some dirt again. Tiger stripes down the back, orange coloration with kind of darker stripes and whatnot. Very cool looking. I like the light around the mouth and then the slight stripes on the arms. Ooh, we're going to get a preview of the social animation. It's one of my favorite animations. I'll show you that a bit closer and slow motion in a little while. But that one's the tiger one. This one right here is known as red. So this is the red coloration. Let's see if we can get some good lighting on this one. This one actually looks fairly cool too. It's much lighter stripes, big blotchier stripes, I guess, comparative to the tiger one, but very cool coloring nonetheless. And then we have the, oh, that's back to tiger. This one is the ghost pattern with those really devious red eyes, those evil looking eyes. Very cool patterning on the white. I don't know what it is. I kind of like white on dinosaurs anyway. So this one is a pretty cool coloration. Obviously stands out amongst the other 3 patterns. The last one being Panthera, I believe, right? This one's the Panthera one. Let me just double check. Yes. Panthera is this one here. A little bit more of a solid coloration on the back with the light tones underneath the tail and on the belly going up the chest, but much more plain, not a lot of patterning. We just get this kind of one stripe going up the tail and then down the back leg. But all very cool, all very movie accurate. They all look great. So while we're here, why don't we go ahead and take a look at their stats in the Hatchery before we move on to take a look at their animation. So you can see here Atrociraptor has an appeal of 173, which I actually didn't compare to the Velociraptor. Let's see what the Pyroraptor. Okay, so more than the Pyroraptor, and then where, if I know my alphabet, Velociraptor 185. So 185 for the Velociraptor, and where did we go, Atrociraptor? 173. So Velociraptor is still a little bit more of an appeal than this guy, but up there we have their, percent trait chances, and if we go over to here, we can see their needs. They don't like anyone. They do not like to share their space. They don't like anyone, and they do dislike carnivores and then Therizinosaurus because everybody dislikes the Therizinosaurus. They also eat the Therizinosaurus, so we'll see that a little bit later. But there you go. There are their needs and everything in the hatchery and their appeal and all of their stats, what they cost and everything like that. So let's go ahead and go look at some of their animations. Starting with some of the simpler animations, here they are just kind of sitting, they sniff the air. I mean, the ambient behaviors are important, right? They're not that exciting, but they're still important. We want to cover everything about the Atrociraptor. So sometimes then they'll stand up and kind of sniff around. Just these ambient behaviors, I think, make them feel a little bit more alive. So I am happy that they're included. But my favorite animation is going to be the social one coming up. Oh yeah, they sleep, they nap. Again, all animations are important. But the social animation is going to be my favorite one of their animations that I saw when I was watching them. So as we kind of go through these first few drinking and things like that, I think the very next one is going to be the social animation, and it's so sweet. Here it is. We kind of saw a brief showcase of it when I was showing off the colors. But it's so sweet. They just kind of walk up to each other and one of them tucks underneath the other one's tail. So cute. I love when they give these carnivores like a kind of a sweeter animation that makes them not like angry killing things. Here we go a little bit slower so you guys can really see. One of them comes up, the other one kind of ducks under the tail, and then they walk away with one another. I think it's great. It's my favorite. Here's the eating solo. Nothing too special about this one, but they do have the kind of angry eating animation that carnivores have when they eat together. You can see here, they're going to kind of yell at each other and fight over the food. We'll see it one more time. So nothing too special here, but they do have that kind of dual eating animation like many of the other carnivores do have. And then their goat animation is another one of my favorite ones. So it makes me equate them more to like a dog with a toy, kind of like they run up on the goat, they shake its head back and forth, and then they kind of sit there for a minute holding the goat in their mouth like, look what I did, aren't you proud of me? I don't know, that's just kind of the feeling that I get from it. We'll watch it one more time and then I'll slow it down for you, but you can see they kind of run up behind the goat. See, he just kind of looks around with it in his mouth real quick, but run up behind the goat. Here's the slow-mo, grab it by the back of the neck, drag it and shake it, and then kind of sit up with the goat still in its mouth, kind of looking around. I don't know if this is a unique animation because I can't off the top of my head remember the other carnivore animations, but I like it nonetheless. And then somewhat similar with the homocephaly, they just don't hold it in their mouth like they do the goat, but same kind of jump on the back, grab it by the neck, shake it back and forth as they drag it, but then they just drop the homocephaly rather than just kind of lifting it up and holding it in their mouth. So there's the poor little homocephaly kill. Then I wanted to go ahead and try it with a slightly bigger herbivore, so I threw a Dryosaurus in there, poor little Dryo. But a cool little animation, gets on it with its feet on the back and then kind of grabs the neck and does the kill that way. You can see here in slow motion, knocks it down with its feet, grabs it by the neck with its hands and its mouth, and then does the kill there. So nothing too special, but pretty cool nonetheless. And then we move on up. They do pack hunt. So I did confirm that they pack hunt medium-sized herbivores. Actually, is the iguanodon a large or a medium? Now I forget. But they pack hunt these guys. They'll pack hunt the paras. They also pack hunt the Therizinosaurus. which we'll see in just a minute, but usual pack hunting behaviors, nothing too new here. They have a few different spots on the body that they latch onto, and then they do the kicking, biting, scratching thing until eventually they bring it down. We're going to take a look at the I almost said Atrociraptor, the Therizinosaurus here. So same kind of thing, couple points on the head, which is kind of cool. They jump up there on the head and on the body, and they do eventually take this guy down as well. Thera kind of throws him really far though when he whips that head around. They kind of go flying. And then they do pack hunt the large herbivores as well. So the poor Alamosaurus here is taking on a bunch of the Atrociraptors. A few points here and there. He doesn't really do too much to fight back. Just kind of shakes his head and the Atrociraptors fall off. But eventually, after they try hard enough, they're going to take him down here in just a second. But it was interesting to see them pack hunt these guys as well. I really wanted to try to test like absolutely every scenario that I could think of without doing every single dinosaur. But you see here, they do eventually take down the poor little sauropod. And then of course the carnivores. So here is them fighting a Pyroraptor. Kind of just the generic small carnivore fighting animations. Nothing too special here. Their kill animation is kind of cool though, and I did want to include it because I'm not quite sure if it's new or not, but you'll see it here in just a second. This next clip is going to be the Atrociraptor taking down the Pyroraptor, kind of knocks it over with his feet, grabs it by the neck, and does a kill. We'll watch it again in slow motion, but yeah, I'm not quite sure if this one's new. However, it is the exact same kill animation that the Atrociraptor has with a Velociraptor as well, which is what you're going to see here. And it's funny, when I put the Velociraptor in with the Atrociraptor, I actually like the Atrociraptors look so much more than the Velociraptor one. I don't know what it is. I just think they look so much cooler. But yeah, you can see it takes it down just like the other kill animation, breaks its neck, end of fight, sits down to have a nap. And then I threw in some bigger carnivores here as well. So Indoraptor, Indominus Rex is next. Indoraptor here does the same kind of animation where it jumps on its back and then he gets him by the tail, throws him down, and does the kill. It's nothing new. We've seen this one before, but you know, always good to confirm that the Atrociraptor has the same animations that the other carnivores do. I'll throw it in here one more time just for fun. So that you can see it again with a different colored Atrociraptor. And then we go to the Indominus Rex, which is a large carnivore, and they do kind of, I guess, pack fight this guy. Only 3 of them ever engage though at a time, and they kind of jump on, get thrown off, jump on, get thrown off. It does end up killing a couple of them because it's obviously much stronger than they are. But there you go, that is the animation for that one. And then just to cross all my T's and dot all my I's, the next animation that we're going to see is the Tyrannosaurus Rex, because we have to have the OG original big carnivore and see what it does with that. And it's pretty much the exact same thing. So these guys jump on them 3 at a time and kind of fight with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Couple of them, actually in this one I don't think anybody dies. I think he just kind of runs off and the fight, yeah, there you go, it just ends. But yeah, that is enough for the carnivore fights. And then confirming that Atrociraptor does indeed climb fences for its escape. So you see it once there, goes up and over, nice and easy, and away he goes, all nice and free to move on to the coolest guest kill animation I think I've ever seen. Slides right up to the guest, and I love this one because there's a moment of like, oh, we're gonna be friends. Oh, just kidding, no we're not. And he grabs his hand, throws him to the ground, and then does a a head neck break, basically. Really, really brutal. I think I gasped out loud when I first saw this one. I was so surprised. It's so awesome and terrifying at the same time. Like, it's just brutal, has no sympathy, no hesitation, just like once he grabs the hand, throws the guest down really hard, grabs him by the head and throws him again to do the kill. We'll watch it one more time and then I'll slow it down for you. I spent so much time watching this one and recording so many different instances because I thought it was so cool. So anyway, there we go. Here's the last time. Grabs his arm, throws him down, grabs him by the head, and then we'll go ahead and slow it down for you. You can see slides right on up to him, and then we have a moment of like, oh, you're not here to kill me? You're gonna be nice? And Atrociraptor takes like a couple sniffs towards the guest, and they kind of stand and stare at each other for a little bit. This like builds the suspension kind of thing, or not suspension, the suspense, excuse me. And then he goes back into the hunting crouch. Person puts out one finger like, no, 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 puts out his hand, and then gets his hand grabbed, thrown to the ground, goes back and grabs his head. I mean, it's just beautifully brutal. I love it. I love it. So there you go. There was all of the animations. Let's take a look at some colors before we end. So in the species viewer here, because it's just easier to show off all the colorations here where I can manually switch between them all, we have our default skin, but what I like are actually more of the earth tones. So like Sonoran Desert, Death Valley, Great Sandy Desert, even like Champlain Valley, kind of, and this one as well, kind of. We get into the like more funky colors, and I do think they look cool. Don't get me wrong. This one actually looks pretty cool as well, the white pattern, but I just kind of like the more naturalistic, I guess, tones in these dinosaurs. But there you go. So there's that one. Amazon rainforest here is kind of cool because it goes from blue and fades into green. Then we have the red one, mangrove forest, which actually comes out to be a little bit more purple in my opinion. And then we have the Gambia River Basin. And then of course we have the 4 movie colorations that we kind of showcased a little bit earlier. Now, these ones being my favorite kind of colorations, I actually think Rana or Chalkorana might be my favorite patterns. This one being a little bit more modeled than the other one, a little bit more, what's the word? Like, it's got a little bit more detail to it. This one's a little bit more plain, where this one's got some different colors and stuff. It's almost got like a white border on the Rana pattern. It keeps like that dark center, but gets light towards the edges. This one actually kind of looks kind of leopardy to me. But those two are probably going to be my favorite. But we also have lithobates here. We have Pulcherana. We have Paparana. And we have this one, Paleophylax. Goodness gracious, I'm so sorry if I butchered that one. But this one's cool. It kind of has that dual coloration again. It's got some red in it, and then it goes to some blue as well. So yeah, so some pretty cool color patterns here. That one's a bit wild and out there, but I like that you can kind of pick either more neutral and toned down colors, or you can kind of go and pick like the wild patterns. That one's pretty wild as well. But yeah, overall, I really like Frontier's design for this guy. So yeah, that is all about the Atrociraptor. Definitely do let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think of the model overall, the colorations, the animations, and are you planning to pick up the DLC when it drops tomorrow, if you're watching this video right when it goes live? If you made it this far, do leave a like down on the video below and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. You can follow me on all of my social media pages. All those fun links are down in the description below. And until next time, I will talk at you guys in the next video. Bye!